Hi, it's Nicki here and I'm back for another Ask an Author, and today I thought I would talk briefly about choosing POV for your work. I did a video recently on my editing vlog where I just did a quick lowdown on each of the different POVs, so if you want to learn a bit more about that I'll put a link to that one in the little spiel below for you. But today I'm talking about just as an author, when you're approaching a new work, how are you going to choose your POV? Now, I don't think there are any hard and fast rules here. Now, you've got first person, I went and bought a loaf of bread. You've got third person limited, he went and bought a loaf of bread. And you've got third person omniscient, which, I'm not going to talk too much about third person omniscient today because in current times it's rather frowned upon. I'm not sure why, there's nothing wrong with it. It requires a bit more concentration when you're reading and that's it. But although it used to be used widely, it's now called head hopping and is pretty much vilified. So it's not one I'd recommend unless you're willing to brave a lot of readers telling you how badly edited your work is. So moving swiftly on and just choosing between third limited and first person. I know there are some people that only like one, that hate the other. Certain readers will only read third person. I'm pretty, as a reader and a writer, I'm pretty open to everything. I'll read whatever POV I get in a book as long as I think it fits. And I guess that's the key point to mention today in terms of how I decide, because I've written in both. And it just depends for me on the characters. When I get a story idea and the characters start jabbering away in my head, it often becomes clear right from the start how I need to present them on the page. For example, in my Souls for Sale, I have the character of Saul, who's a demon. When that story idea first came to me and he started talking away, I knew at once that he's got this cocky, witty persona, and I knew that he needed to address the reader. He wouldn't come across anywhere near as well in third person, because you need to have him talking to you, snapping back these little one-liners. Sometimes I even break the fourth wall in that book and he literally addresses the reader. So for him it was very obvious. Whereas if you take some of my other pieces such as Fire at My Heart or Wish You Were Here, in those I've taken more of a step back. I've still got two POVs for the two main characters, alternating by chapter, but I put them in third because I didn't need that real in-depth interaction between them and the reader to tell their story. I don't really think, when I'm planning a book, I don't think, oh gosh, I'd better write this in first or I'd better write this in third. It's just what feels natural. You start to write and you just see what comes out. I don't know if others have similar experiences, or if this is just me, but as soon as I start to write that opening chapter, I know how it should be. And if something's not quite working, you start the first chapter and you're not feeling it, it's always worth trying to swap to a POV change, because sometimes a different POV can make all the difference, and that could be the spark that you're missing. You've got this great story idea, it's not coming across. Change from third to first person and you might find you have a whole different story on your hands. So that's just my opinion. For me, POV is all about the natural fit with that particular story. And you don't have to say I'm an author who only writes third or who only writes first. Mix and match, see what works for your individual pieces. What does everyone else think about this topic? Do you have a preference one way or the other? If you're an author or if you're a reader. If you're a reader, are you happy to read both? What would put you off one or the other? And if you're an author, have you written both? Is there something that worries you about swapping POV? And tell me your thoughts. Pop them in the comments and we can have a bit of a discussion. I will be back next time when I'm going to talk about some more topics such as world building. So I will be back with you again soon. Bye for now.